Yo, what's up? So, yesterday, unfortunately, I got only one extra booked call, and it was a no-show. So I got automations coming in and things like that because I'm really trying to reduce the no-shows, and that in itself is a problem, especially when you're advertising a free offer. And that's something I'm going to go over today, like what's the offer I'm running and why I'm running it and why it makes sense. I'll also go into a Miro board to explain the math behind it and why it's actually working, you know what I mean? Especially with something that can sell and work. Now, yeah, so I got the automations coming in, whether it's for a no-show or whether it's for like, hey, your appointment is about to come up, you know what I mean? So that's set in place to increase show-up rate and prevent no-show. Now, so yeah, we got the no-show, and today I have roughly 3 calls, a little after 12 p.m. So hopefully we can close someone, maybe even like get someone in and work set up today. So it's like this AI setup thing today. Tomorrow, I got someone in the morning where they said, hey, you know, come by, come set it up for my business. The guy already set it up, so he's just looking for his automation thing to get set up. So will do, no worries. He just, you know, messed something up, and I guess he just wants to get it fixed. And what I'm thinking, or what I wanted to share, is basically, you know, the offer exactly and why I picked up this offer. And the offer exactly, what it is, it's a free offer. And it just, the way I designed it and thought of it is, it just makes so much sense, and it leads to the next logical thing. So for instance, how do you make money off a free offer? You upsell the person in the next logical sequence. So for instance, if you know OpenClaw is very freaking hard to set up, then why would you give them the full setup for free? Just give them the most basic thing. Offer the value where it's exactly what they want. They get what's it called, OpenClaw, but at the same time, it's just as basic as it gets. The only thing you have access to is just the browser UI. No skills, no security, no nothing else. And then it makes sense, like, hey, you can either get the free shit or you could get the full entire setup where it's secure, you get skills, you get the channel to communicate with it, you can maybe add even workflows, things like that. So it just makes sense. Like, I easily close the people on the phone calls is because I sell them basically the, you know, the outcome, which is the OpenClaw, which they actually perceive it as a bridge to their outcome, right? Whatever it is. And that's actually another conversation maybe I'll say for later or whatever, because people just want outcomes. And the offer that's being advertised, it's a free offer. It's a free offer to get OpenClaw set up, and that's exactly what it is. However, when I get on a phone call with them, I'm like, hey, do you want the free shit? I don't say it like that, you know what I mean? But do you want the free shit, or do you want the full entire secure workflow that gets things done? And obviously the latter sets up, and then it totally depends on how much I charge them based on like, what is it that they need, you know what I mean? And some finding that I'm starting to get from people is that they don't want just OpenClaw. They see it as something that can solve a problem, like content automation, or do posting for their business, you know what I mean? Just get leads, shit like that, you know what I mean? 2 people already talked to me about it, about content automation. That's probably like, I guess, a big need, you know what I mean? Maybe an opportunity within that, but the more people I talk to, we'll figure that out and feel it out, you know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm noticing that people just want workflows and work to get done, and they see this bot as something that can do that, you know what I mean? But the offer, that's literally what it is. It's just a free offer, and who doesn't want free? Especially something that's highly in demand now. That gives you insanely high click-through rates on your ads, low CPMs. My CPMs are roughly somewhere between, I think, $13 and like 20 something dollars, and I think the average is around $18. The click-through rates are pretty high, roughly 10%. You know what I mean? And the bookings, they just come in. You know what I mean? Unfortunately today I didn't. So tomorrow I got some new ads coming up. I'm switching from a CBO campaign to an ABO campaign because I think I found a winning angle. And the angle I'm advertising, and I think that's converting the best, is for non-technical people. So if you don't know how meta ads work, and from my research, the way they work is they optimize for the creative, like what's the contents of the creative, the transcript, the ad itself, the image, the video, whatever, and then that's your angle. So anything that you put into the ad set, you should frame it around that specific angle. So I think I found the winning angle, and now I can optimize the angle. And surprisingly, the ad that is actually converting is just a freaking image ad. I thought the video ads would go better, and it completely contradicted the whole philosophy online where it's like, oh, video ads, they perform better. You know what I mean? But here, I'm getting image ads that are getting a shit ton of bookings. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I already burnt out through my audience in Sacramento. Maybe I'm just BSing myself, you know what I mean? Maybe there's like nothing here. We'll see. But that's literally the offer, and my thinking is this, and this is something Hormozi talks about, this is something other people talk about, you know what I mean? If you can simply add in a free offer or something free, right? Or maybe just like an extreme discount where it just gets people to act, you're gonna get more people in through the door, and the more people you have in through the door, you can convert more. So I would rather get on a phone call, especially now when there's like no clients really, because I just started up this offer and I'm still trying to get like a feel for it. I'd rather have more people come in through the door. I'd rather weed out all the people that aren't serious about it, and then convert and close the ones that are serious about it. You know what I mean? And all the people that actually were serious about it and I'm getting on a phone call with, they're pretty serious about it. You know what I mean? They got money to spend, and they don't really seem like people who, you know, my impression to that, like off the bat, isn't like they're rich people, you know what I mean? But they clearly got money to spend because they're business owners. So, you know, these are just everyday people, you know what I mean? They live in their lives, they got businesses, they're doing their thing, and they see this, they hear about this OpenClaw thing, and they're like, I want that, because of everything they hear people doing about it. And then all I'm trying to do on the phone call is diagnose what these people want, what can I set up for them that's personalized and custom to them. That's the other thing. And I got this from Hormozi. I'm not saying like I made this all up myself, you know what I mean? Like I'm some genius or anything, but I'm just doing like the whole menu selling thing that he talks about. I don't give them a one-size-fits-all productized offering, because there is no person out there or no business out there that has like a one-size-fits-all. Like, sure, you can do that, or it's very predictable, and then you can just like create a SOP. It's always predictable. You know exactly what you're getting from working with me or whoever you're working with, and that's it. But the thing is, everyone that I've spoken to so far, they have very specific workflows they want, or very specific outcomes. So I can't just sell content automation or like a workflow for one person, whereas someone else wants something totally different. Like I already have someone talking to me about getting a receptionist set up, you know what I mean? And I've never done a receptionist, but what did I say? I said yes, of course. And to be honest, I don't think OpenClaw is going to be the, what's it called? I don't think OpenClaw is going to be the actual mechanism that I give them the outcome with through, you know? Instead, I think I'm gonna have to use like probably something else, but I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna like turn down the sale, whatever. I'll figure it out. But that's the thing I'm seeing with like this AI stuff, is just people want outcomes. And what I'm doing here with like the menu upsell thing is just, hey, like here's a standard thing, like you're gonna get the OpenClaw, but then, okay, maybe you need this tool, maybe you need that, maybe you need security, maybe you don't need security, maybe you need to like be able to access and see all your files and stuff with Obsidian, maybe you don't, you know what I mean? Maybe you need like a very specific, I don't know, skill created, or maybe a very specific file structure for like your whole claw thing here. And that's what sells to people, because I'm like, hey, like this is what you need, this is what you don't need, this is what people are talking about, this is like an answer to your question that you didn't understand and why this is better. And I'm just pretty much diagnosing and just breaking down their beliefs when I'm on the call. And then I'm pretty much just giving them what they want, you know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out what they want, giving them what they want, and then they'll be like, hey, like this is what I can do for you, this is what I was advertising, this is what you'll get there. Do you want the better stuff, the full thing here that actually makes sense with what you just told me you want, or do you just want the free basic thing which is super clunky to use? And it's obviously a no-brainer once I tell them about the latter, and especially too if it's like a really complex workflow and it's personalized to them. It's just like it has their name on it, so why wouldn't they want to take that? You know what I mean? And that's just kind of my thinking and my experience from like these past few days. And I'm not saying like I'm some expert here. I'm just documenting and sharing my learnings and stuff like that and just speaking out loud. But that's just basically the philosophy behind it and why it's selling. And I'm not really selling people on the phone call. I'm really just telling them, hey, like this is what you told me, this is what you want, what do you want in the first place, and then okay, this is how I can help you get what you want with this AI stuff. And that's really it, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make this a one-size-fits-all of just OpenClaw for everybody, you know what I mean? And I know that's what it's being advertised as, and that's fine, but the thing is, if there's a stronger pivot to do, I will make that pivot, you know what I mean? But right now this is what's working, and I'm just gonna feel it out what the market wants, and then eventually just configure the offer and go from there. All right, look, I'm gonna show you why free offers work and kind of the math behind it. All right, so imagine this is the offer, right, with like a bow tie on it. That's the offer. And then here's offer number 2. All right, just imagine the bow, this just represents a present. So this is offer 1, offer 2. Now imagine there's a group of people. Here, you're gonna advertise as free, Whereas here, the offer you're advertising is paid. So it could be anywhere from low ticket, high ticket, whatever. So whenever you hear free or a massive discount, I'm also gonna add discount. And when I mean massive, I mean anything that's like 80% plus, which just prompts people to like take an action. You know what I mean? If you're just gonna give a discount of 20%, that's not gonna get enough people to act. But if you do something crazy, yeah, people will look at it, you know what I mean? So free or a massive discount. This, of course, is gonna get a whole pond of people to respond. So that's why you'll see higher click-through rates of like 10% or like whatever. You'll see more engagement. And then here, if something is paid, the odds are that you'll have a smaller group of people respond to this, metrics that are less compared to the free offer. And then what happens? If you have the same exact funnel from the free to the actual offer, and let's say here you have, say, let me make this bigger. Here, let's say you have like 1,000 people that accept this. And then here, let's say you have 500 people that work with that see this and accept and click the ad. Now, the offer, like let's say it's the same exact offer and the conversion rate is 10%. So same conversion rate, same funnel, right? We'll just say this is the funnel here. Like the bridge basically getting people to the offer. But the difference is the ad and how you're advertising it. So it's basically how you're presenting what you're about to sell. If the offer here is free, more people will grab at it, and then you'll have higher engagements overall because more people are engaging, commenting, interacting with the ad. So you'll probably get better metrics overall. And then what that means is you'll have more people actually going into the door of your ad. More people are actually going to engage with it. Whereas here, you'll have half as less, or maybe even less, people engaging. So if the math is that you can get 100 people here to convert with your offer, whether it's something on, say, self-checkout or like even on a call booked or whatever, that is 2x higher than what you can charge right here. And that's significant, you know what I mean? You're spending the same amount of money for two kinds of offers, and one's making you 2x more, whereas this free offer is somehow just converting more. And the philosophy behind this is you want to generate as much flow in through the door, so then you can just weed out all the people who are not serious, and then just convert all the people that actually are serious. And still, that will convert higher versus something that you're advertising immediately as paid. And it's still the same exact offer you're selling to people, it's just how you're presenting the ad to the people. And more people will jump at free versus something that's paid. Damn, well, this is embarrassing. Of the 3 calls I had today, there was one really technical dude. He was just inquiring about the AI agent Claw, and he was pretty much interested in getting it up on his own server. He's running a personal server, I believe, on some setup he has at home. So this dude's like, I guess he works with NVIDIA, so he's super technical, a bit overwhelming when I got on a call with him, and he's got like all these machines in the background and just a workstation there. I'm just thinking to myself, oh damn, like this guy's super set up. So it was kind of funny, but at the same time, you know, he got some sort of value from what I was talking about, and at the same time, he seems pretty interested in a setup. We're gonna see if he comes back around. He said he's gonna follow up, and I was like, all right, cool. And if anything, I'll just follow up with him in a few days. We'll see how that goes. The first call was a no-show, unfortunately, and then the third call was probably the most interesting today, where it was a woman who I think bought a marketing company for some sort of beauty niche, and she was running her business with about 50 employees at some point, and I guess they were deeply in the red, and she fired basically some people that were on the team to a point where now they're at like 17 people, and now she's trying to reduce burn even more. And she has a workflow in Go High Level. She also has a few tasks that she would like to fully automate. And from my impression is, especially with these, like, I guess you can say, I don't want to call her a medium-sized business because she's definitely not. She's still a small business, but at the same time, she's definitely something that is more serious and not just, it's just not like a small mom and pop shop or something like a solopreneur runs or something of that nature, but more so something, I guess you can say, legit. You know, I mean, she has about 15-20 people on her team, which is quite big, and she is trying to automate a onboarding process and then something which automates text messaging and some sort of follow-up sequence with clients she onboards into her Go high level setup. And she was trying to see if basically OpenClaw can, or like a personal AI agent, can automate and remove some of these, what she called tier 1 and tier 2 onboarding flows, where you can just remove people from the loop and just make it fully automated, because a lot of these people that she works with just mess up the flow and it's just not right, and it's also costing her money. And like I said earlier, but there's this common theme and pattern of just these business owners coming and they basically just want outcomes. And I think that's what AI and tech and all this stuff with, you know, all the online technology really offers these people. So rather than selling them, say, just OpenClaw or something like that, it's more so about selling them the outcome and the dream workflow, you know what I mean? And actually, I should probably share with you guys, but actually, that's kind of what that other guy did or wanted with the content automation, right? So she pretty much wants her whole entire like tier 1 and tier 2 onboarding flow completely automated, so she can just remove the employees from it. And you know what I also wanted to say, because I'm a bit stressing, because I was like, damn, I'm gonna pivot to AI setups and shit like that. And now it's coming to a point where, damn, you know, I've had all these calls, and then today somehow my meta ads just wholly flopped. $70 in spend, no bookings. The last booking was like from yesterday, you know what I mean? It was just insane, because I was getting all these bookings up front, and now it's like, it's not happening. What the hell? So we'll see, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just tweaking and it's just one day, whatever. But what I'm doing now is what I want to say is, sorry, I'm like, there's so much happening in my head right now. I'm just trying to figure out what to talk about. What I'm doing now is I want to tell myself that it's all right, even if, one of the things I want to preface this with is, like, the person I was supposed to have a setup with tomorrow, who committed about $1,000 for just like some fixing, he's not going to be in town tomorrow. Like, he said he's going to follow up. So I don't know if that is just, no, he's not interested anymore, or if I did something wrong, or if he's just bailing out last minute, you know what I mean? So, I mean, we'll see. We'll find out. But anyway, or even like this other guy who said he'll follow up with me. You know what I mean? When people usually say that, it's usually just a no, which is whatever. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, like, even though I may have fewer clients, but like if they're trying to get very specific needs, I'd rather work with them, because then I can put more time and effort into these clients who can actually spend a lot of money and get shit done. Like, wouldn't you rather have one 10K client that can, you know, you do the work for them, it's highly personal, highly white glove, but at the same time you deliver the result and they're happy, right? Rather than worrying about, say, these $600 to like $2,000 setups, what if, or say like $1,500 setup, what if you can hire or get hired for a job that is very specific for someone who has the cash flow, and at the same time they're very high intent. Like, they're not here to waste time. Like, I could tell when I was on a phone call with this woman that she was very high intent, and she clearly seemed well positioned, you know what I mean? So I'd rather work with people like that, have less clients, and at the same time be able to really deliver them something. And what I was pretty much just backtracking here is with this, let me just like pull up the thing. So I'm trying to pretty much create a whole entire agentic workflow where, and I'm also just going to show you guys the show you guys what the HeyGen, right? So this other guy, I'm pretty much just trying to like create, like, just show it to him that it's possible that you can pretty much have these agents research topics for you, research something, and then post it, and then, you know, create the whole AI clone thing around it. And quite honestly, like, this isn't the like full workflow, but it's more so of just having the individual components ready. So then when, say, if this guy wants, I can kind of copy and paste from what I got here to there. And I'm just kind of trying to do more upfront now. So then when I come to this guy, it's like, okay, like, hey, all this stuff is already ready right here. Why don't I come and just kind of stitch it together and make it fully automated? So I'm not saying it's fully automated here because it's definitely going to require more time, but I'm about to, after my dinner here, pretty much just send him a post. So what I'm trying to show you here is I pretty much got an agent to go and so I'll show you guys right now. I got an agent to go do some research. So I know it says the wrong date here because it was supposed to be for March 3rd, and that was just the agent's failure on the prompt. But pretty much it goes out and just researches topics of like what's popping right now with, say, a current interest this guy has, and he has a lot of interest in XRP for cryptocurrency. And so I pretty much researched this stuff, and then I created like another, so I broke down a couple agents where they have very narrow tasks. So we have a research agent, we have a posting agent that posts to X. We have the master agent, which kind of runs the whole entire workflow. We have a script agent, which just pretty much generates the script. So as you can see here, it created a whole entire video script on a first shot. So, you know, you can definitely refine this and make it better. And what it did was it pretty much, I hooked up to the API to HeyGen, or I got the HeyGen API, and it pretty much just created this video.
Here's a question that got the entire crypto industry fighting last week. Is XRP actually decentralized, or has it been a...
It looks kind of goofy, I know, but it's pretty much for me.
...corporate hot take that'll probably get me ratioed. The decentralization purists are complete...
I know this is like not the best, what's it called, quality, because it was just recorded on my camera on my computer, but that's me right there, you know what I mean?
Turn decentralization into this religious... XRP has been processing cross-border settlements.
This is all AI cloned by the clone at HeyGen, and it's pretty much just reading this whole entire script, which I fully automated. And then the only thing it has to do is just post and schedule it, you know what I mean? So this guy's pretty much trying to have that done for his whole entire workflow, and I just wanted to prove the concept works with myself, and then, you know, hopefully that sells him. And quite honestly, this shit's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to take time, so I'm probably going to try to throw an offer at least 3K, you know what I mean? We'll see if that even sells, but, you know, that in itself is pretty hard to do, you know what I mean? And it's probably going to take some more time, but nonetheless, I can definitely do it and just sell this guy, see if he bites, and, you know, take it from there. But like I said, you know, I'd rather work with like very high intent people, because then you can charge more, you can deliver quality work, and you're not rushed to, you know, do bullshit work and spend time on just low intent people, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I signed up for with like the free offers, which is totally fine and understandable. But at the same time, I want to work with highly intent people who can also pay, and, you know, just, you know, I can make some legit profit off this versus just small quick jobs here and there. I'm fine with that like right now, you know what I mean? Especially if it's working. But I'm just trying to move fast, get these offers in, or these calls booked in, and then actually fulfill people that are highly intentful and can actually, you know, pay it up, you know what I mean? That's probably the most important thing. But at the same time, even document this stuff, like how I'm thinking about it right now, and just seeing how this is evolving, you know what I mean? And I think the most intentful people through experimenting with this offer are going to be people who actually want outcomes delivered and very specific workflows, because clearly some of the people with very high intent who are willing to pay more, they have a bigger problem to solve, and they view agents, software, or some sort of automation as a solution to their problem. And I think that's where, you know, if I can sell them the outcome, what the potential is here, then that's what they would be more than happy to pay for a couple grand. So it's my thinking process.